to the fallout over that bombshell new reporting out of Michigan. The Detroit News saying it's obtained an audio recording of a phone call on November 17th, 2020, where then President Donald Trump and RNC Chair Ronna McDaniel are heard pressuring two Republican election officials not to certify the vote. Trump can reportedly be heard on the call saying it'd be, quote, terrible if they did so. And both Trump and McDaniel offer the two legal assistants to not sign the documents needed to certify. Neither MSNBC nor NBC News has heard or verified these recordings. I want to bring in now Jonathan Kinloch. He is a Wayne County commissioner and a former member of the Wayne County Board of Canvassers in 2020, which was the direct target of that pressure campaign. Jonathan, you were quoted in the Detroit News reporting as saying that what happened on the Trump call was, quote, insane, and that it's just shocking that the president of the United States was at the most minute level trying to stop the election process from happening. Can you tell me more about your reaction to what took place in this call?
Well, like I said, when I first heard from the reporter that what we were initially told by Monica Palmer wasn't true, that the president had told them not to return into the building to certify the election, it brought a lot of things into focus. Not only the truth of as to why she and William Hartman didn't return back into the building, but it brings into focus everything that has happened since then. Donald Trump has shown himself from what has happened in Michigan, Georgia, and elsewhere, that he not only dispensed his agents to go out and to attempt to get elected officials and public officials not to do their legal roles, but he himself chose to actually get engaged, get out front, and exempt as much influence as possible to convince people not to do their lawful jobs.
The Detroit News also reporting that you said this. Hartman and Palmer left the meeting room on the night of November 17th, 2020, and never came back to sign the official statement of the votes for Wayne County. The votes were certified because, according to the Michigan Bureau of Elections, the signatures of the chair or vice chair of the four-member canvassing board and the county clerk were the only things necessary to advance the certification to the state board of canvassers. What was it like? Can you take us back, Jonathan, to that moment of living kind of through this drama, living through this moment, knowing subsequently what was happening then?
Well, after the vote, we were still very pleased and excited with the fact that Monica Palmer and William Hartman had changed their vote. They had actually certified the election. So the meeting adjourned, and our staff, the election department staff, was actually compiling all of the various election data and preparing the certifications for signatures for the canvass members and the chair of the canvass, as well as the county clerk. So all of these documents were being prepared. While we were waiting, when they completed preparing the documents, we looked around and they weren't there. So we started calling their cell phones. They didn't answer the phones, and so so our staff called the Michigan Secretary of State's office, Department of Elections, and then explained to them what was going on. They said the only signature that was required at this point, because we already taken the vote, the only signature that was required was that of the chair, or in the absence of the chair, the vice chair. And so I signed the certifications and all the other documents, and then we left. But never in our mind would we had imagined that they were being told by the President of the United States out in the parking lot on the telephone, right, not to do their job, not to come back in the building.
Do you think charges should result from a telephone call like that?
Well, I think
from the former president?
First and foremost, the Attorney General, Secretary of State, who is our Chief Elections Officer, I think they need to review all of the facts associated with this, hear the tapes for themselves, and come to a conclusion that if any laws were violated as relates to interfering with these public officials from carrying out their job, then the appropriate action should be taken. It's just amazing how we continue to hear more information coming out about how the president directly tried to interfere with elections, not only in Michigan, but across the country.
Do you think safeguards are in place for 2024? Are you confident of that?
There were safeguards. The system worked. The system worked in 2020. They have made some changes as it relates to clarifying the role of canvassers and what responses can be made here in Michigan. So I absolutely feel confident that the safeguards were in place in 2020, and they've been enhanced and prepared for more craziness in 2024.